Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to BarTalk. BarTalk, BarTalk, BarTalk. She's got it down.
Is that
Yo, I'll let you intro this one.
Huh? You want me to intro it?
Yeah, this is special for you.
Okay. This is my brother.
What's going on?
Cornelius
Ooh.
Masterson in the house. Corn. C-O-R-N.
You guys both have like weird nicknames.
Yeah,
Trash,
we definitely do.
Corn.
Hey, hers was Dee Dee at first. I used to call her Dee Dee because I couldn't pronounce Tracy.
Yo, my dad still calls me that.
Mm-hmm.
He does still call you Dee.
And Squirrel.
And Squirrel and Rooster and Trey and Trass.
It's ridiculous.
He's just Corn. Which, like, he hated when he was a kid, but I think he kind of vibes with it now.
No, Corny. You weren't allowed to call me Corny. Or Mom did not like you. Dave Evans was the first one.
To call you Corny?
Yeah. We were sitting on, like, the deck. And he came up when we were young. He was like, Corny, come here. And my mom was like, you do not call him Corny. His name is Cornelius, or you call him Corn. But she didn't want everyone to be Corny, come here.
Mom being all defensive over her.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God. Charge your watch, Abigail. All right, well, we're going to start this podcast off by taking a shot.
Oh, yes.
The shots.
We have Hornitos.
Ooh, okay.
If you've been following along this journey for the last 15 episodes, this is the same bottle of tequila we've had since Drew.
Is this
Since
the 15th
before
episode?
Drew. This is
No.
we didn't even use this one. I used the Hornitos, which is another one. That was from episode 1. We used the Hornitos from episode 1.
No, you didn't, because Drew was sitting there and you did the whole like shebang.
No,
when you
this
touched
is different
the
than
top
Hornitos, babe.
Oh.
What
Well-
episode is this?
15, 16?
18.
18?
Not 18, you.
17?
No, it's
16.
No, it's 15.
15.
No, it will be 16.
It'll be 16.
You're just
Nice. That's my
just
sister.
going-
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers
to
to
16.
episode.
27.
Oh no!
Cheers to episode 128. That shit was gross.
Oh. Oh.
That was straight chlorine.
Yeah. Whose idea was that?
Whoa.
Ooh, I see
Cornelius
that on
isn't
another
a big
podcast, and I think that's a great idea. That is a terrible idea.
I've been acid reflux.
I need a drink. Do you have a chaser? Do you want some vitamin water?
You don't chase in this house. As I choke on my shit.
You just chase that with
Cornelius
water.
isn't a drinker.
Yeah, I don't drink.
He's the weed leaf.
He's
Yeah.
more of an herbal man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I never liked it.
Never drink.
Drinking?
Yeah, never don't like the taste of alcohol. Don't like the taste of beer.
Mm-hmm.
When you're drunk, it's okay, but I don't like hangovers and stuff.
And when you're drunk, I feel like there's a very brief window that it's fun, and then it's also still no longer fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a very small window of, like, I'm having a great time. Tracy's like, I don't really.
Yeah, Tracy doesn't know what that means.
I'm good.
Atlantic City in 2 weeks is going to be so rough for me.
Oh my God. Wait, pause. We're all going to
Wait, are you
Atlantic
going?
City.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm going to Atlantic City.
You and I
she
are
did
gonna
not
be-
buy my ticket, but we're figuring that out.
We're figuring it out. We're all in 2 weeks' time from now, which means that we have to record another podcast before we leave, or we'll record one in Atlantic City. Us three. So I'm like pointing at the camera like I'm talking to these guys. Us three and Stefano are going to Atlantic City, and Abigail is going to have a lot of answers as to why we are the way that we are.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
I'm
the
really
first
excited.
time I get to see my friends in like 3 years.
Is that the last time you were home?
Yeah, I haven't been home. Yeah.
Like, besides going home for our cousin's wedding, the last time you were home was 3 years ago?
Yeah, to hang
I
out
think-
with my friends, like where I grew up, like Northfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that kind of kicks off the episode because you have a job in social media, which we're going to talk about a lot more during the episode, but you all, obviously you started somewhere. So you guys grew up in Jersey.
Yep.
Bro and sis, you're the older one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't act it most of the time, but I am
No,
older.
but that's okay. So you guys both were fairly active. I know you were. Was he?
Oh, hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah, we grew up playing sports. Probably every because obviously in New Jersey there's different seasons. In Florida here it's always hot. In New Jersey there's different seasons. So we grew up in the fall was football, the spring was baseball, and the winter was like more indoor sports and stuff. So we grew up playing sports all of our lives, and then we just stuck. When we entered high school is when we really focused on one. And that's when I started focusing on baseball. She focused on track. And then fitness, I guess, came along with that.
Yeah, so where did that start for you? Because I've heard where it started for Tracy, but your job is like fitness, social media. So
I mean, I hated it. I hated the gym.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, when she was in track, her and my mom used to go to the gym all the time for like pole vaulting and training and stuff, and they will always try to drag me in. And my mom was the main one every single day trying to get us in the gym, and she would drag me in there, and I would hate it. I would like it sometimes, but I don't know. I just didn't like the atmosphere. I didn't like working out because I liked baseball. I liked playing sports. I liked being an athlete. I never really liked like lifting weights. I was like, why am I doing this? And I didn't really understand it.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, definitely hated it. She was the opposite. She loved it when at first. Yeah. She was always in the gym. And then
but I feel like I kind of tainted that for him because I ended up taking my sports to college, and he saw how much of like a semi-disaster that was for me. And we were really good. Like, that's the one thing that I was going to touch on too. Like, I don't think anybody knows like the sports that we did. And like, I mean,
we don't talk like about it
but we were pretty damn good at what we did. But we left and we were like, fuck y'all. We're not going to talk about this ever again. But he was really good at baseball.
Yeah, I mean, when I played baseball, I played like 3 years up. Like when I was 9, I was playing with 12-year-olds. I was playing Little League when you were supposed to play Minors League. So I was like a little advanced in some of the sports I was playing.
Right.
And we definitely don't talk about that because it was just like a whole different chapter in our lives. And I guess as soon as we left high school, it was like a flip the switch. We got thrown into life. And like the sports that we used to play, it was like they turned into direct hobbies. And then we had to focus on what we need to do as a career, what we're falling in love with and how to pursue that, to then like take it, like I said, in life and just go with that.
So how'd you go from I play baseball, I just want to play baseball, that's all I like, fuck the gym, to I love the gym and now it's how I want to make my income?
So it would be junior going into senior year of high school. I was going through like a growth phase. I literally grew like 6 inches, 7 inches, and I was starting.
That's that's like an older.
It was so weird. I was a late bloomer, like puberty late, everything, and I grew really fast, and that affected me tremendously baseball wise. I started getting hip pains. Like I used to be super fast. I used to like steal bases and stuff, but when I used to get taller and stuff, I couldn't run anymore, so it affected the way I used to play. Literally affected, like, field. It was bad. Like I used to be like quick, fast. Next thing you know, I'm literally like slow, like awkwardly running. And then it kind of like got to my head, definitely my confidence in baseball. And then I remember me and my dad had a talk, definitely senior year, and it was just like, I'm not gonna be going to the MLB. I used to go to like college camps and stuff like that,
right.
But seeing her in college and doing track, like she said in the beginning, it was just like, I don't want to live that lifestyle that she was living, waking up at 4 a.m., going to class, training, repeating it for 4 years. And it's just like,
and that's just college, right?
Yeah, and that's just college. Right. And if you want to take it into like the MLB, it's just a whole different wave.
Then it's your whole life.
We really had to like think about that and really look at it. And I mean, when I grew up, we grew up in a small town, so obviously everyone has big dreams. We were all talking about, oh, your son's going to get to the MLB. So obviously the people who we were around, like, we're kind of putting that on our head, like, go to college, play baseball, you're going to make it.
Right.
But we kind of grew up, I kind of say we grew up a little faster and kind of got thrown into life quicker because our parents try to understand us, like, you have to think about your future and life, and this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life.
I also feel like Jersey 100%. Is an environment that, the way that you describe Jersey, especially South Jersey, it seems like an environment where you have to grow up quick.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not like here.
No.
Right. No, not at all. Especially with sports, and people don't talk about like sports. I remember directly, I was at a baseball camp in South Jersey, and the scouts literally said that they're probably not going to take anyone here because of where we're at. They know that they don't play all year round. They know that the seasons change, and they don't have somewhere like Florida or like other places where it's an all year round thing.
Oh, my baseball athletes, they're training all year. They're doing travel ball, they're doing fall ball, they're doing their actual school ball, they're doing, I mean, like, it literally is all year round. They probably take a break for maybe 2 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 months.
Half of the season, I mean, for the both of us, is indoor sport.
Right.
And like going from indoor to outdoor, I mean, is a huge change, you know?
Yeah, it's always a transition. It's always a transition. If you're training inside, then you have to take it outside. And then, like I said, that's when I really started looking into the gym, because, like I said, I was slow and I kind of just needed something that was going to help me there. So I started training. My friends that I grew up with, I'm going to bring them up: David Lade, Dylan McKenna, Quinn Vitale, very big social media influencers. We all grew up together. We went to elementary school together, entered high school, and then I kind of rekindled with them my junior year when I saw them in the gym. And they were probably a huge inspiration of me, of like how to grind, what consistency does, and seeing how they're taking what the gym and what they're transferring it to when social media was rising. Just kind of like got me. It was like I just like connected with it very well. And then like I said, I just started following their footsteps a little bit, and then falling in love with what I like to do, and then trying to put that on social media. And then
what kind of stuff then, what did social media look like then?
Oh, social media was back in the day is 10 times different than it was now. When we first started, it was more of like social media was like a look. It was like you were looking up to, like today, you still look up to people. You still have people who motivate you, and they still inspire you. And there are people who you like don't copy their content, but you create similar content because it motivates you, right?
Right.
So back in the day, it was more of a just a pleasing like effect. It was like we wanted to post something that as soon as they saw it, they wanted to like be like that. So for example, in high school, David posted a transformation video, and it like probably got I don't think it blew up right at first, but probably over the years it got like millions and millions of views, right? And that started to like really get our eye on, oh, these kids, like fitness wasn't big. These kids don't really look like us. Like, we're bigger than these kids. It not like to sound like an ego way, but we knew we were bigger.
No, you guys stood out.
Yeah, we stood out. Yeah, exactly. It was aesthetically pleasing.
And it was before the market was so saturated with that.
So
like
saturated.
now it's so
and no one did it. No one took pictures of themselves. No one really took shirtless pictures and put it on social media.
Dude, the dark lighting thing with like the
how to find down lighting.
Right. That was not a thing.
No, and it was all YouTube based, right? Like, wasn't David doing all YouTube? Yeah, it was all Instagram?
YouTube based, and then
David Lade was like my fucking Instagram crush.
Yeah, exactly. David Lade,
just everybody's.
Yeah,
he was a huge inspiration for me too, because he was
like he was my Instagram crush.
Yeah, he literally like was the first person. I mean, I'll take it way back when me and David Lade used to longboard. Like, I was really big into longboarding. Like, we used to slide on our hands and stuff. And while we were longboarding, David Lade was filming it. David Lade would bring cameras and he would film it. So he like knew like, okay, these kids are longboarding, it's fun and stuff, but I can make it into something bigger. And then he transferred that into social media. When I was around him, it was like no one's really vlogging their day, talking about it, like making it motivating, wanting to get kids in the gym and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he started doing that, and I started being around that, and then obviously seeing how he affected people started inspiring me. And then when I started getting to the gym, grinding, and then when people would message me on the side like, hey man, thank you for posting, like you got me started in the gym, it just connected with me, and I started falling in love with like helping others, getting those DMs, knowing I can help change one person's life a day. And then that kind of just got me into the, okay, I don't like school, I'm not going to do sports, and I want to change people's lives, so I want to do social media.
Right.
And I mean,
so
it's a
we
grind.
dropped out of college.
Yeah, so I dropped out of college.
Kids, don't go.
I mean, I mean, if you have a plan, you just know that school isn't going to help you with your future goal and what you love, there's no point. But if you are struggling with like social skills or social anxiety and kind of want to get out there, I mean, college isn't bad. You can go out there and learn the social skills and stuff, but you really have to focus on you.
What you said though is important, is you were like, if you have a plan and that's the big thing. Like a lot of people are just at this point, not going to college is like the cool thing now.
Yeah, it's a fad.
But people don't have a plan. So it's like they're like, I'm just not going to go to college and I'm just going to become an entrepreneur. And it's like,
or a social media influencer.
right, but they don't have a plan.
They don't know how to be they don't know what the social media influence is actually going to do.
You had people
Whereas he
already
knew what he
doing
wanted
it.
to
Right,
do.
you had people doing it. So
Yeah.
you were like, they were your friends, but they were also kind of like your mentors in a way because
Exactly.
they were already, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of you. And they were there to help bring you up and your social media up. And at the same time, you were also just watching and observing them and then going and doing your own thing.
Yeah, and like back when he first started, which is also crazy to talk about now that you just said that, is like the way that society changes so fast. Like it really wasn't, in the grand scheme of things, it really wasn't that long ago. But like back then it was, like you said, you go to high school, you go to college, you find a job. Like you were prepped for that. I mean, you were in your second year of high school and they were already asking you what college you wanted to go
Yeah.
to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you had to be prepared to go 4 years ahead.
Right.
Where now it's like, oh, I'm in high school. What do you want to do? I don't know. Maybe I'll wait a couple of years and I'll be a social media influencer. It's kind of like, what does that mean? So back then, like they had a purpose already
And
before
I
he even
don't
started.
really call myself it's still like, what do you do? I call myself an online coach. And then if people ask, I do have a social media platform, but I hate the word social media influencer because like you said, it's like influencer of what? Are you in the like the beauty space? Are you a beauty influencer, a fashion influencer, fit? Like what influencer are you? What kind of influence do you have? It's not, you're not a social media influencer. And then there's people who just
And
create,
there's like an OnlyFans model.
content. Yeah, or OnlyFans model and stuff like
it's
that.
like, what are you influencing?
Yeah, it's like, what are you influencing?
Right.
How to make money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can look at it that way. It's like the OnlyFans thing. It's like you're influencing fast money,
Right.
like fast money, not long term longevity, branding, like not it. So
Like, it'd be so funny. He like runs into my room and be like, try. This bitch just made like $1 million doing this shit.
Yeah.
And he'll like show me a picture of like a girl selling her feet pics. Or like a girl just like talking out loud over absolutely nothing and she just made quick cash. And he's like, what is happening here? Like,
But the thing is that you also made a good point. You were like, what is she influencing? Fast money. And it's like, that's so true. It's like, cool, you made $1 million over the course of a year. But
what's it get you?
where are you going to go?
yeah,
What's
it's
your
like,
10-year
what did you
plan?
learn? How are you going to apply that to life? What are you going to teach? Like, say you have a family, what do you, if they ask you, hey mom, how did you make your first $1 million? How do you,
Well, also
like,
just how do you
teach
keep
them a
that money
lesson?
coming?
You know what I'm saying?
How do
So
you keep
it's
the
like-
money coming?
Yeah, exactly. It's like back in the day, people had to obviously grind, create businesses. And I'm not saying you don't have to grind now, right? But I'm saying back in the day, it was way harder to make your first $1 million than it is right now.
Yeah.
And it's not, I want to say it is hard, clarify, it is hard to make $1 million.
Yeah.
But there's different ways you can do it now.
Right.
And there's a lot of freaking ways that you can do it now.
Shit that did not
Yeah,
exist.
not exist freaking 5 years ago.
Right. Well,
And
that's
I'm learning about different things every single day where you can make money.
right. Well, and that's kind of where I wanted to ask you next is how did social media evolve? And I know that's a long story because you started in Jersey and then you moved and traveled and it's been
Yeah.
5-7 years now, but you can, however you feel necessary, go down a timeline of kind of like where you went, like where life took you, and then also how that translated over to your job
All right,
and social.
so back in the day, sponsorships and companies definitely weren't as big as they are today. When I first started, I still had to work. I still had to work at a pizzeria. I worked at Nick's Pizza in Northfield and the Crab Trap.
Work
We
together.
worked together.
Woo.
So I was still working and I was still trying to find time after school. Would make my YouTube videos and just know that you have to grind. Everyone does that. When people are starting off social media, they have a job, right?
Right.
But it wasn't like we were grinding to obviously make a name for ourselves to start to create our own brand, right? Today's day and age, a lot of people become influencers because they want the sponsorships. They want brands to pay for them, right? And it wasn't really like that back in the day. It was, if you were big, like for example, David Lay got sponsored by Gymshark, Gymshark, and he was in high school. That's how you know, okay, this is how you make a career on social media. You create a brand for yourself. A bigger brand will reach out to you.
Right.
You love their brand. You start to promote them, and then you learn how to make money. And then when we first started, the commission and everything was so new to us because we were in high school. So it was like, so we have to sell this, and then if we have a code, you buy it, we make money. So like it was super like weird, and like we just didn't
You're
understand
kids.
it because we were kids and no one talked about it. But
And it was
obviously-
new. It was new. People
it
weren't
was
really
brand
doing
new.
it.
Nowadays you see it all over. Get my code, get my code, get my code, my code this, my code that. So obviously people understand, okay, if you're a social media influencer, you get sponsored by a company, you have a product to sell, you sell that product, you make commission. But it just wasn't like that back in the day. It was literally like, you don't get paid X amount because one, the companies back then didn't have millions of dollars like they had now.
Right.
So we were like living paycheck to paycheck. We were living like normal high school kids and just trying, and we were working probably more than people who had a 9 to 5.
Right.
Like David would be up 24 hours a day editing, filming,
Because
editing.
then he'd go to work.
What?
Because like he would do
Yeah.
all that shit and then he'd go to
Yeah,
work.
because he worked at his.
Or he'd go to school.
Yeah, exactly. So anyone, we would all just like go to work, go to school, and we were editing, filming, bringing meals to classes, and just like doing things for our future that normal high school kids just didn't understand. We would get made fun of and just like talked about because, like I said, the mindset back in the day was go to college, get a job, this is your career, but no one knew that you can make a career off of social media. And now it's just, like I said, super saturated. I feel that social media, everyone tries to strive for the same exact thing, and it's grow your name, try to get sponsored by a company, and have people buy your code. And I feel people who take it, like, for example, you guys who are like starting your own thing, starting your own podcast, starting your own brand, that's how social media should be. And that's how the way it's, I feel, going to go in my eyes. I feel more companies throughout the years are going to like settle down with the like ambassadorship and everything, because it's just going to get way too saturated, and then more companies are going to get made, and then more people are going to have the same idea and stuff.
Well, it's like, why fix what wasn't broken? Like, you guys did such a good job in giving those companies good names because you were hardworking kids that also had lives. Like, that's one thing that I liked about the group of kids that you grew up with, even though you all went your separate ways. It's like, you also post shit about your life. Like, it's not like all fitness all the time. Like, yeah, you post the same stuff. You post the same shirtless pics all the time. But people, like, know who you are. Like, you do these TikTok lives now, and you did Instagram lives, and you did YouTube. So it's not just, like, your picture on a platform that people are trying to buy off of you, which I feel like that's what everybody does these days. They just post, like glorified pictures of themselves.
The
Where, like,
reels,
back in the day, it's like you knew who these people were.
Yeah.
So, like, you looked up to them because you felt like you were watching a TV show.
Exactly.
You know?
It was more personal. I think that people put a lot more. I think people put a lot more of themselves into their social media, and that's the big thing. Is like, I've been seeing people aren't. Social media is always a little bit like glamored up in a facade. It's not fucking real, and I also want to get into that with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, there are people that are legitimately just not them on social media. Like, I've seen a couple people, and it's like, dude, I made a sarcastic post about this the other week, but it's so true. I was like, dude, the lighting in these videos is getting darker and darker because these people who are like not in shape are posting these fucking fitness videos like they're just like the G, and then they're uploading. It's like, dude, let me see you in some lighting. Like, let me see you at the beach.
It's social media is just super easy to manipulate and just just super easy to work around.
They're just seeing what's getting views and likes and reposts and whatever, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna just go make that happen.
Copy each other,
and it's not them at all. Like, it's not who they are. You have no idea who they are. And for you guys, like, I remember I didn't know any of you all, but I would watch your YouTube videos. Like, back when I was super new to fitness and stuff, I was like watching all the bros on YouTube and stuff, and I would watch y'all's stuff, and I felt like I was like, this is them. You know, I was like, I was just watching you guys lift or watching you guys dick around on a vlog or whatever.
Yeah,
it was
for example, it's like there's a fad the TikTok mic'd up videos.
Right.
For example, right? It's just like you can just see how people like really they're just like not themselves. Like you can tell, like, I don't want to obviously state names, but I know people, right? Like, I've been in the social media fitness industry since 2017, so I know people, right? And I know like what content trained with some people, and there's people, and you can tell what content that's just so forced and like just they're so talkative or just talking about BS and not really like training hard, not giving like any actual valuable information on what they're doing. Like it would be cool if like the mic'd up videos, it would be like voiceovers, because when we did voiceovers was we're talking about what we're doing, what the weight is, why we're doing that weight, what we're going to do next week, and that's what it was about. It was an informative thing. Now it's just like talking about anything and everything and bullshit and just trying to get your attention for like that 9 seconds, and then you swipe and you give them a like. That's what they're trying to preach now. No one's trying to preach and like get your attention for the long run. Like we like, I feel that I have a fan base that has been following me since 2017. Like I don't have 1 million followers, I don't have 400,000, I don't get 10,000 likes on my photos like other fitness people do, but I feel that I just developed a community and a brand that like supports me and supports who I am, because I just do me and post the real me and what we did and how we did it. And now I don't want to grab their 8-second attention. I want to grab them, and I want them to start to invest into me. But like I said, people just try to grab like people's 10-second attentions, 8 seconds attention.
Do you think that that's where people probably like spin their wheels too hard, is they're like so focused? Like I think there's sometimes you have to move with the trends, you know this, you know, but also like, do you think people spin their wheels too much on like leaning too heavily into the trends, that they're so focused on like the next trend, what gets more likes, what gets more views, instead of being like, all right, well, this is where the trend is moving, but let me still adapt it to me and my brand, and let me make it something that my audience would like to see. Because I feel like that's better for longevity, or for having followers that matter. Like having 500,000 followers, but 90% of them are just like these thirsty, like for me, these thirsty dudes that aren't going to pay for shit, versus having 100,000 followers, but 10% of them are these thirsty dudes that aren't going to pay for shit, and the other 90% are like actual people that are going to buy in.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you have to. I wouldn't lie. Like you have to do the trends. You have to like keep up. They're fun, but you just can't rely on it. You can't just rely on trends as your content, and this is how you're going to make it in the long run. It's just like when, say, TikTok gets deleted. I mean, you guys been seeing the news and stuff. Like it's getting talked about getting banned. And all these things. I feel
like it's been happening for like years.
Yeah, no, but it's like,
it's getting like serious now.
It's like serious, and it's just like, what are you going to do? Do you have other platforms? How did you really create a brand for yourself? Why are people going to look you up on another platform? Why are people going to watch you on another platform? And there's just all these different variables that you have to take into social media. It's not just you have followers, you can do what you want, and then you're going to get money. It's like, you have to work and create the content and really impact people that want to follow you for the long run and want to support you, so you can continue to do what you do.
Yeah.
Like that's for crazy. Example, I do TikTok lives. TikTok was not a thing. Lives were not a thing. Instagram probably just released the live feature when we started doing social media, so we wouldn't like go live and you can have your personality out there. But I started doing that, and I don't hold hundreds of people in my chat, but I developed, like I said, a family and a community that people know that I'm on a certain time of the day, and then they can come in, talk to me, chat with me, and they support me through there. So I can get paid through that social media platform. And the biggest reason why I can continue to do that is because those people know that like their support allows me to continue to do what I'm doing to impact them.
Word.
Right? And it's like, you don't like people's support is like either like supporting you with a supplement, like subscribing to something. And that's all over social media. Twitch, you get paid through subscriptions, donations. YouTube, you get paid through super chat, and this TikTok, you get paid through gifts. So all social media has different ways to get paid directly through, but how do you get that direct support is you have to develop a connection with your supporters and try to get like obviously have their mindset, know that they want to support you so you can continue to do it.
Right. And then you're not chained so much to sponsors.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is beautiful, because like I think I could be totally wrong about this, but I feel like the main way to make money, 5-7 years ago was you had to have a sponsorship.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. And so now it's like, I mean, you had them and
I still have them. So I definitely, all right, so sponsorships are still, I would say, a base, right? For example, if you're really big in the bodybuilding world, a supplement sponsor, clothing sponsor,
Right.
people who pay for your things, like for example, you do Spartan races and you have sponsors, like sponsors are a base, right? But they're not heavily, like, for example, like getting commission and a paycheck from like Alphalete back in 2017 was like, I was like trying to work and just like grind for them to pay and buy Alphalete, like I'm
Right.
sponsored, right? But I've been with Alphalete since 2017. I left them for a year, but then they welcomed me back, and I've been with them ever since. And I would say I don't have a salary from them, and I don't get that much commission with them. But I developed such a family with them that Alphalete always has my back. We support each other. We support each other's events. They always check in, and it's just like, that's what you want to develop. You want to develop like a family and a community within.
Yeah.
There are a lot of influencers that bounce around. That's like, yo, this is my job.
Well, it's just the next
Like,
sponsor.
it's
Who
like
can
y'all
give me
are
more
selling
money?
me.
flow.
Who can give me more money?
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And I mean, if that's your main source of income, like I said, I have an online coaching business. I get paid through different social media platforms. I have sponsorships. So I have a couple different sources of income coming in. But
Right.
if your main thing is like you're waiting at the end of the month for that salary from that check from the company and stuff, it's like you're really not doing social media right. You have to like try to get different sources of income, start your brand, because I mean that brand can't be there for the long run. Maybe you're not regrouping money, because for example, for me, like, people know I'm a part of Alphalete, but they don't really spam the launches anymore because I've been a part of them since 2017. So
Right.
they kind of understand.
They support you in other ways.
Yeah, they support me in other ways.
Yeah. Which
So-
like is so crazy too, because and I mean, like, you can just talk about you moving and stuff. I don't think people actually realize like how hard social media actually is. Like, they see people online and they're like, oh, they get a shit ton of likes on their, videos, and they have a shit ton of followers, and they must get paid so much money. And it's like, it's such a grind to keep that sort of community, and to a lot of people it doesn't make sense. So it seems very frustrating. Like, sometimes when he used to talk about it to our parents, they used to get so frustrated because they're like, you don't like wake up in the morning and work. And it's like, no, he streams
working
until
at
5
4
o'clock in the
a.m.,
morning.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm leaving for work at 4 a.m., he might be streaming. He was top 2 in the country like last week
Yeah,
on
right.
TikTok Live.
Yeah, like 2 Sundays ago, there's like daily ranks. And
Right,
like
you were top 2 in the country,
yeah,
right?
and they start at 4 a.m. my time. So it's like I have to wake up at like 3-ish or stay up the whole night. I start at 4 and then I stream from 4. I did 14 hours that day.
Yep.
Right, like just live. So I was on from 4 to like 10. I took a little break, and then I was on from like 1 a.m. to like 3. Like, it was just a ridiculous amount, and like people just don't understand. Like, don't really understand what I'm doing. Like, the certain times when things come up, when I have to be on my phone, when I'm working. It's like when you're a social media influencer, I'm working like 24/7. When I'm at the gym, I'm looking at DMs, I'm looking at emails, I'm getting back to people, I'm trying to get promotions out, I'm trying to
Make
like
connections.
How does
Yeah,
that affect your
connections
How does
stuff.
that affect your relationships?
it's I mean, you have to have someone that really loves you and supports you. I mean, my girlfriend, I'm definitely the first, I guess I would say, social media guy she's ever really dated. And
Weird for her at first.
yeah, I mean, for example, when she met me, she like obviously saw my profile and was just like, I don't know if we're gonna really vibe because I post shirtless photos. I kind of look like a
douche.
F-boy, a douchebag. Like, yeah, like what you call like just not an average kid, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously that was just a little like, oh, who is that? But when she started to realize who I was, what I did for social media, that I'm not just a guy who thinks I have a lot of followers, I'm better than everybody. I mean, she liked that person, and then
Was
she,
it
like,
hard for her
supports
to?
that.
Was it hard
Yeah.
for her to be like, dude, what do you like? Why are you on TikTok Live so much? Like, I feel like I would walk in the room and I would be like, dude, what? You're just on your phone.
Yeah.
And it'd be
Well, she
hard for
does
me
it now.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
no,
so,
but it would be. I'm saying for me, like, it would be hard for me sometimes. I think to conceptualize. It's like he's not just on his phone. He's like legitimately making money right now.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
for me, I'd be like, dude, you're just on live playing
oh,
video
yeah,
games.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
It would-
yeah.
it would be like I mean, we would have like those conversations at first because you just don't really know. It's like, so you're on live doing what? Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Why are you on your phone? So like, you just have to talk about it. You guys, communication is the biggest thing in relationships, and if you can just sit down and talk about it, and she understands what you're doing and you're understanding what she's doing, and you guys just trust each other, then it won't really be a big issue. But like you said, if I'm like canceling plans or not doing anything or locking myself in my office for 14 hours a day, streaming every single day, or just like not caring about her or not like thinking about her in my life or what I'm doing, then that can start to affect the relationship. And then that's when obviously the influencer has to realize it, that like, bro, you can do influencing and you also can manage a relationship.
Well, it's interesting because it's such a it's such an interplay between work and life. I feel like a lot of people, it's easy because they're like, oh, I go to work and then I come home and then I spend time with my family and my kids and my wife or whatever. But for you, it's like you have to legitimately be like, I'm going to stop now, because part of your job is your life, right? Like you're like, okay, I'm going to go play video games, but I'm going to live it. Yeah. Or it's like, okay, I'm going to go on this walk, or I'm going to go to the gym and work out, but I'm going to live it. Yeah. Or I'm going to post some shit. And so you have to you have to literally turn it off and be like, I'm going to put my phone down now. And I'm going to hang out with my girl.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, a lot of people don't really talk about that on social media. Is like, we think about that every single day. It's like, if I go and play video games, I have the thought in my head is like, bro, I should be streaming this right now. I need to be getting my name out there. I should be doing this, and that. Even like doing a podcast, I feel like I should be doing like a live, or like when I'm going for a walk, I should be storing and what I'm doing. And it's just like, we're always thinking of like, if we should be creating content, if we should be doing this. And it's like, kind of just sometimes ruins our self time and
ruins the moment.
Hobbies. Yeah, it ruins the moment. You always have to be filming it. So, but that's where you have to really find balance, and that's where you have to find balance in your relationships and balance. Like, I play at night. Like, for example, I don't have that many friends here in Tallahassee. Like, I have my family. I have my girlfriend. We were just talking about this yesterday. I have like 2 friends. Yeah. I don't like go out to.
You're our friend.
Yeah. I literally like don't go out.
I have one friend.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't go out. So my friends are my friends from New Jersey. So I know at 9 or 10 o'clock at night they can like come home, and that's my time to like talk to them and stuff. Right. So that's where you find like the balance of like, okay, this is my life. This is my time. I don't really have to put this on social media and stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of friends,
fix my hair.
Oh, sorry.
My long ass hair.
Your long ass hair. You're constantly like going like this. Mom's gonna be watching this and be like, Cornelius, your hair was in front of your. Are you serious?
You fixed your hair 38 minutes in. I was watching. She was like, I was looking at that hair the whole time.
Before we even started this, Mom, if you're watching, because I know you are, he's like, I gotta make sure I'm sitting upright, or else Mom's gonna say something about my posture.
Yo,
what Mom said.
The whole time you've been slouching over here, going like this with your hair.
I'm honest, God, I really hope I don't look like I'm slouching and stuff. I've been trying to like look good. Like,
he's like fucking paranoid.
Yeah.
Yo, so sorry I'm grilling you with questions, but I have more questions.
No, yeah, keep going. I love it.
Speaking of having friends and
coming
stuff,
from a person that's literally trying to do social media right now.
Yeah.
So like, I mean,
you guys, for example, are doing it fucking right? Like, for example, Tracy, like you put. I mean, it sounds like I'm degrading myself, but I think you put more time into your content than I do. Right?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't get me anywhere.
But it's just like the work, and it's gonna come. Like, you can just see, like, over the time, you know what you're doing. You're growing. It's just time. It's just consistency. And for example, this is where you're gonna grow with. You're not gonna grow with Drunk Brand and stuff like that. Junk Brand is growing with you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You got sponsored by Junk Brand and all these companies at freaking not even 10,000 followers before.
That's
and
awesome.
Then they're going to grow with like y'all's BarTalk and y'all's social media content. And that's what I say people are doing social media, right? But there are a lot of people that just try to grow with the brand, and they think the brand is just kind of carrying them and stuff.
Right. For you, like, seeing, obviously you had friends in social media, you interact with people in social media all the time. What does it ever get depressing? Because like social media is so fake, right? So like I'm sure you've met plenty of influencers that are absolutely not who they are on social media at all. You know, like just like 180. So does it ever get depressing when you go to like meetups or sponsorship meetups, or just meeting up with other influencers or collabs or whatever? You know, was it ever like, did it make you almost want to put yourself away from people and be like, I don't even want to do this shit anymore because you guys are super fake? Did it make you like social media more? You know, what was that like?
Yeah, there was definitely, I mean, I'm kind of the worst. Because the thing is, I'm the worst at
He sounds like me.
He's so different. He's so we are two totally different people.
Yeah, it's just like I'm the worst at because I don't really know watch other influencers. How do I say it? I watched inspirations and I watched people who I wanted to be like
right.
top bodybuilders and stuff.
Right.
But I really stopped watching influencers because, like you said, there is the fake. There are people that just do it for the camera.
Right.
And when I fell in like me changing people, I just wanted really to continue that. And I mean, I went to the LA Fit Expo. I went to like a bunch of expos, the Arnold and the Olympia and stuff like that. And I mean, it was just seeing everyone there was a huge inspiration of like these people are literally traveling across the world to come see this person. And then just like seeing the smiles on their faces, like when I had my first line like at the freaking LA Fit Expo,
right,
like having a long ass line for 3.5 hours, like me and Dylan and the whole Create 2 team, and just like talking to people nonstop. That's when it just like knew I was doing it for me and like I was impacting a lot of these kids, and that's what I have to continue to do.
So that's like the dope part about being an influencer and being in social media.
Yeah.
But like, where does it get depressing?
When people think your life is like great, like when people are like, "Oh, you're a social media influencer, you must be living the fucking best life ever." It's like, it's like no. It's like I
people
live
think he's rich.
Yeah, people think I'm rich. People think like if I travel, like I'm rich.
He's posted up in Trey's house.
like
we live together.
Like we live together. Like I'll post like I don't go on crazy. I don't go out. Sometimes I go like I went on this cruise on Date Fit. I do remember. I'll have a story. I went on this cruise for Date Fit in like 20 something.
That shit was crazy.
Right? And we got a bunch of
pull
influencers
up the backflip video.
Yeah, a bunch of we might pull it up and edit it into here. But
more work for Tracy.
Yeah. So we all went on this cruise, and just a buddy of home reached out to me and just was kind of just like hyping me up and just like saying I was doing really fucking well and he's proud of me, and like a bunch of shit. I'm traveling the world, and like I just knew that he thought I was doing more than I actually am. And in my head I was just like, man, I'm broke, man. Like this shit was free. Like I low-key had to like get my credit card to pay for the water. Like I'm broke, bro. Like like I got lucky, man. Like I'm posting like that's how social media was. It was like I'm living this ballin' ass life on this cruise with a bunch of influencers. But low-key, I'm like, bro, as soon as I get off this cruise, it's like, yo, I gotta call my mom for $20 to get an Uber. It's like, man. So a lot of people do like show like have this crazy life, but it's like, man, it's not like that. If you sell. Like, if you sell, I mean, there are influencers that are rich. Trust me, there are influencers that are making $100,000 a month, $200,000,
right.
Like, there is money in this, and that's why people do it. There's money, but you have to do it the right way to make that money. But that's what I'm saying. If you're just following and just trying to live like an influencer, you're never gonna make that money.
I feel like everybody that thinks that somebody has over like 100,000 followers these days just thinks that you're automatically rich.
Yeah, no.
Like for a good second, I was like before I had 17 jobs, I was like doing your DMs, remember? And I like, cause you just couldn't keep up with them, and it would be like all of these people talking to them, sending fucking pictures, doing all this shit. They're like asking like, yo bro, I'll pay you for a flex shoot. And it's like also people that were in his DMs being like, man, I wish I had your life, like you're so rich. And I'd be like, we're living in a fucking apartment out here, both of us. We're living on Camp Lejeune, fucking bumfuck North Carolina for $800 a month.
Social media is about sacrifice too. Like I sacrificed a lot, man. Like I moved to North Carolina with Tracy.
Right.
We moved to Florida. I moved back to New Jersey. I moved to Miami. I moved to Denver, Colorado. And I moved back to Florida in a year and a half.
Yeah.
And all of that time was me trying to break into like what I'm doing, how I'm going to live. And that really helped. It sucked. Like shit. It sucked because I was always under the stress of like, my car pay, like I obviously didn't have a car all the time, but my phone, like bills were coming up, rent, shit like that was every single month, and life doesn't stop, right? Like life, you can't put life on pause. You can't be like, all right, I can't pay this payment. No, the next month you're gonna have to double that payment. So like life doesn't stop. And if I had to take the sacrifice of not really working and stuff like that, and really like grinding social media, and I mean, me and Tracy had a talk in the car. It was like, because I was here in Tallahassee and I wasn't really like doing anything. I was in like a rut and stuff. And she was like, bro, you have to, like, it's 50 hours a week, like 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day. Like, you have to treat this like a 9 to 5. It's like you don't work a 9 to 5, but you have to take a 9 to 5. And I mean, I say that every single day. When people are like, how do you get into it? I'm like, you have to treat it like a 9 to 5, but you're working more hours.
It's more. I was like, and I had a conversation with this to my sister. Right, because she's working at a firm right now, and she's not loving it. She's realizing it's not necessarily what she wants to do as an architect, and she was looking at me and she was like, "Well, you work like half the hours I work, and you make as much as I do, and like you're doing the job that you love." And I was like, "Yeah, but look here, girl, my job isn't stable. The economy crashes. School stuff like." People stop training with you. Like, I don't know.
That's the stress I have too. It's like, what? Like, for example, TikTok's a huge income for me.
It might get banned.
It might get
what
banned.
Happens?
Instagram's dying.
You don't get PTO.
I don't post on Twitter. I don't have a Twitter following. Yeah. So it's just like there is that stress of like, what?
Like right now, you're just on Instagram and on.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok,
and he's on YouTube Shorts,
and
right?
I'm on YouTube Shorts, but definitely.
But you were on Twitch and stuff. And you go back
there. Yeah, I'm on Twitch
and
stuff like that. So I'm trying, but. Like I said, you have to create a schedule.
Right. Well, because it's like we don't get PTO. Like we don't get like we don't get a 401k. We don't get like
exactly. We have to pay into our own retirement fund. We have to pay into this.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Taxes for self-employment.
Right.
For us, like if you do start to make enough money, you have to start paying quarterly because you are going to get boned by the end of the year.
Right.
Like it's just not. It's like I remember going to my accountant and he literally told me I had to pay this, and I was like, what? I was like, I didn't make that. I didn't make that much. And he was like, well, self-employed, you got to pay this. You don't really, taxes don't get pulled out. And it's just like, it's just a reality check. And social media hits you hard. It's just reality check. And it's like, if you can't pursue and you can't do it, you're going.
Yeah,
it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. That's the thing. Like,
it's not. I've noticed that it's very, very like I said on the terms, like people not really knowing how much it takes. It's exhausting in the fact that like you also don't have a timeline. Like, yes, it's a 9 to 5 job. You have to treat it like a 9 to 5 job, but your job is like 4 a.m. to 2, take a nap, wake up, live stream from 10 to 11. Like if once you create a family, it's like he knows when his people are going to be on. So like every once in a while he could pull an all-nighter, but he can't do that every day. Yeah. I mean, like I see him in my house all the time. Sometimes the kid sleeps in until 1 o'clock in the afternoon because he went to bed at 4:30 in the morning.
Well, also that's insane. You never know when the money's gonna go. Like that's another thing. My sister, I talked with her about. I said, you get a paycheck every 2 weeks, and you know exactly how much it is, and you know exactly where it. Like, right. For me, it's like, sure, 2 weeks. I might make $2,000 in a couple weeks. I might make $4,000 in a couple weeks, and then I might make $1,000 the next couple weeks because everyone's on fucking vacation. So it's like it's not as stable, and like I don't mind because I love my job and I love what I do, and I don't mind the instability. But it's like you have to figure out. For you, if that's worth trading off, and for some people, that's why everyone's trying to get into social media and all this shit. And it's like, it's not for everybody, man.
It's not for everyone. And a lot of people, I mean, back in the day, a big thing that was happening was people were just turning themselves into ads. And I mean, I'll take responsibility for it. When I was like struggling for money and stuff, I would like just like try to get
pressure.
It's pressured, and I would try to get promotions. I was like, I need this promotion. Like, let me promote your brand. Like, this, and a lot of people still like just do that. Like every second you see them with like a new legging or a new supplement or a new this and a new that and a new that and a new that, and it's just like because they want like exactly they want that quick $300, that quick grand, they want that quick $500 for a post and quick stuff, and that's what happens as soon as you start social media, because you can be like, oh shit, if I get 5 promotional posts for $500, I can make $2,500 a month. But then you really look at your fan base. It's like, how am I developing a fan base if all I'm really developing is an ad space?
Yeah. So I think it's really cool that like the base that you've built, like especially like through lives and shit like that, like the same people comment on your posts and the same people show up to your lives. And it's like, I can be in my room listening to him go live and I hear him say like the same names over and over and over again, and that's really cool. It's kind of like the couple people that we're occurring over time when we do our lives.
Yeah,
you know, like Whiskey and Elvis and all that.
We're
but like
slowly,
he's got the same people all the like he's talking to them like they're friends.
Yeah, exactly. They, like I said, they turn. I always said it. I never said I had followers. I always had family, and that's the biggest thing. It's just like if you follow me and support me. Like, I support you. It's just, I care about you. You care about me. I care about you. It's like, I'll talk to you. I'll DM you. You can message me. But if it gets to a point that, like, you get pissed off at me, that it takes me a couple of days or a week to respond because I'm obviously trying to respond to everybody.
Right.
Then it's selfish. It's like, you're kind of using me as a little selfish thing. It's like, you know what you're a part of. You know you have support behind you. Time will come.
That was the one question I was going to ask you. Like, I know how you deal with it because I see you. But, like, talk about how you deal with the hate that you get. Like, you know, about, like, people have made videos on him. People have, like, talked shit about him. People,
that's
like,
so crazy.
constantly say that he's on steroids.
Yeah,
people constantly are
just know what I'm doing.
All the
they
time.
Will think they know what lifestyle I'm living. People think they, like, know my diet. People know what time I wake up. They know my training session. And I mean, it's just, it used to get to me because at first it was like, damn, I'm really trying to inspire these people. I don't want these people to think I'm a fraud. So I used to always say like, no, I'm natural. And then when you keep saying you're natural, obviously that's going to get more heads turning. And then people are going to start to make more videos about you.
Like, what's his name? Philly on Fit?
Yeah. I mean, Philly on Fit is doing great now. And I mean, you can't, I didn't like him at first because obviously he made a bad video on me. But I'm in the social media game. Man, he played social media like a fucking gem.
Right.
Like he used everybody who was blowing up in the fitness world and stuff to create his own brand. And now look what he's doing. It's just like that. He played it smart. Obviously, we didn't like it because it degraded us, but he played it smart, and I give him hella props. But it's just hate is funny because there is some hate where it's just like, damn, bro, it's like, you really think that about me? But there's hate where you just like laugh. They're just delusional. It's just, they just don't really know what they're talking about. They're literally just insecure with themselves and jealous. And they're literally just a keyboard warrior. It's like, I'll never go to a meetup and haters are going to come to my face and say something. It's like, if that happens, all right, talk about it. Let's talk about it. Have a conversation with me. Mm-hmm. But I know that you behind that, typing that comment is not, if I have a meetup, you're going to wait in line for an hour and say that to my face. It's like everyone in that line is going to say hi, want a picture and stuff like that. And that's the people I impact. But if you do hate me and you are willing to stand in that line and say it to me face to face, you don't really hate me. I kind of inspired you a little bit because you do want to talk to me and you do want to kind of know what I'm doing.
And you also have mutual respect.
You know what I'm saying?
There's like mutual respect there. Yeah. It's like, bro, you waited in this line to like talk to me about like why you have a problem with me. At least I respect you for coming up to my face.
And it's just like, they're like, people are like, oh my God, like hate. But there are some times where like the cancel culture. Mm-hmm. Like I would honestly, that shit would get to me. If you truly did something wrong, right, you have to own up to that shit, right? If you scammed, if you created a program and you sold it and a lot of people didn't get it and then people were canceling you and you started getting pissed off because you did send it to people but you didn't send it to you have to take responsibility.
Right.
But if you really didn't do anything and you are really trying to just create content, be a social media influencer, you aren't lying and people are making assumptions about you, it's just, you gotta just blow it off a little bit. And the cancel culture is freaking nuts. That shit's scary because they're cult. There's like thousands of people that will literally just like report you.
But you know what though? Like it's so like, you know, the handshake thing that people do, it's like insecure people trying to make money online by like posting hot photos, and then it's like people sending hate shit. It's like because it's like you have to be sure in yourself. You have to go into social media and whatever your brand. That's why I think that you did it the right way too, is because it's like the people who are unsure of themselves and their brand, who are just letting other brands become their brand. Mm-hmm. Like those people don't know who they are. They're not themselves on social media. They are hiding from something. They're super insecure. And so when people send hate shit, it's like, it fucking buries them because they really don't have anything to stand behind other than like fake. For you, it's like, I have my brand. I know who I am. I have people that love me. I have people that I love in my life directly around me. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's like, this fucking dipweed on my Instagram saying that I'm not natty. It's like, whatever, dude.
Yeah,
I'm over it.
People
I'm
are
done with
so
it.
ruthless, man. Like,
But
it's
it's like, you know
unbelievable
who
the
you
shit that
are.
people say. Yeah, and I
there
think
are
the
people
only
that are ruthless. Like,
Dude.
there are people that have threatened me, like stuff like that, have DM me. I have got swatted. So, like, that did happen to me. If we want to talk about that, like a serious situation.
Oh, God. That's like a whole,
Like, cops came to my freaking door. Like, that shit can happen. And that is bad. That's like hatred. When that shit starts to happen, that's where you just have to take safety and precaution. It's just like, man.
Like, some people are off the wall. I will say, like, the only time, literally the only, twice. The only time that I've seen him get like seriously bent about shit like that, which like mad props to you, instead of being like, oh man, what the fuck are these people saying? Like, the only time he's actually given a shit was after the situation that happened in New Jersey, and we moved to or we were in North Carolina at the time, right before we moved. And I think it was just like you in this weird transition of like still trying to get your shit together, still trying to do YouTube, but you're alone now, you're not with the boys. So he was like trying to figure out how to do it by himself. And you were like kind of really down about it. But then you snapped out of the North Carolina real quick and you went right back to like your old Jersey way where he was like, fuck these people. Yeah. And then the only other time that happens when we moved to Florida, the exact same thing happened. He was in a groove. He fell out of his groove. So he kind of got like a little internal. Somebody had made a threat, remember?
Yeah.
And we were in the apartments in Monroe. And he just for a quick second was like, damn, these people really think that about me? And then just like that, he was like, nah, fuck these people.
Yeah.
You know, so it like comes and goes. I feel like it's only natural to feel kind of shitty about it. But
well, also, when you're on social media all the time, it becomes borderline real. And so when you have all these haters, we have all these haters on there, right? Because you do have real people on there that really are real and they do follow you and they like you and you interact with them and you're real, or you and your social media, you're trying to be real and posting shit and like interacting with people. And it's your whole life. It's your whole job. You're on there for 8, 9, 10, whatever hours a day. And then people are posting hate stuff. It's kind of like, it's easy to get sucked in and be like, oh, those people are real too. And like, why do they hate me? And like, why are they saying this stuff about me? And you have to be able to differentiate the bullshit from this. These are my people, you know? And so, I mean, part of it, I guess, is you're in it for long enough. You're like, okay, these people are stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, versus, oh, this person like has been following me for a while and I've seen them follow me for a while and they have a problem. Like maybe I should look into that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, that definitely has it happened a couple of times of like, I would respond to hate comments and we would talk about it. And the next thing you know, that kid is commenting on my post, like, good job, like the next day. Like, and it's just like, you just have to like talk about it. Sometimes so it sucks, but sometimes these kids just want your attention. And the only way to get your attention, they think, is to hate on you. And if you give them that freaking 3 minutes, 5 minutes of chatting, they're going to forget about it and just.
Like, it just cracks me up because, like, he's so nonchalant. Like, my brother could give a fuck less about anything. Like, he's just, like, so, you know what I mean? Like, he's just, like, chill as fuck. It would be like my mom and my dad being like, yo. They'd be like, did you see what so-and-so left on your Instagram page? Or be like, Trey, did you see what so-and-so left on Cornelius's Instagram? And Chris would be like, yeah, fuck them. Like, he literally just, like, dead ass would just be like, yeah, fuck it. They'll be back. Like, I mean, they honestly, gave me a like, what do I care?
I don't really know who told me it. But it stuck with me forever. It was just like, the only person you have at the end of the day, and the only person you'll have when you freaking hit that grave is freaking you. And if you don't love yourself, and if you don't trust in yourself, and you're not giving yourself 100%, and you're not confident in yourself, the other people aren't going to be confident in you. But if you are confident in yourself, and I love myself, I know what I'm doing. I know that I know what I'm doing. So it's just like, I have that mindset of like, okay, you can think that about me. Cool. Like, if you can say it about me, it's not going to affect me. But it's just like I said, if it was like, if I like inspired you and I like changed in a way or something, and then you really started to hate me and stuff, like, man, I'll take it to heart a little bit, be like, okay, man, maybe I did fuck up, and like think about it. But I'm not one of these influencers to be like, oh, I changed, you don't like me, F you. Like, fuck you. But there are people like that. Like, oh, I switched my content. You don't like it. You're a supporter. Fuck you. Yeah. It's like, no, I care about all you guys. I care about everyone that comments on my photos. Like, I try to support everybody. Like, even like you, my story sometimes isn't even me. It's just me reposting people. So it's just like, I care about them sometimes more than I freaking care about my own content. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah,
it's pretty damn cool. So when do you think you're going to make some corn merch? I mean, corn is a really dope logo. And it's a picture of a corn on the cob with a muscle.
Dude, yeah, so talk about, like, what's coming out for you, where people can find you.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm definitely going to start... I don't want to say that. I was gonna say I'm gonna start YouTube, but I don't think.
Oh my God, Cornelius said he's gonna start YouTube like 5 times now.
Because I'm not the type of person where I can film myself, yo. I yeah, I'm an introvert and stuff. But I would love doing like shit like this. Like I can do stuff with people, but you guys aren't gonna like my vlogs. I sit and watch my meals and stuff.
Yo, just woke up. I'm gonna go toke real quick. I'll be back. Yeah. We'll eat together, and then I'm gonna go toke, and then I'm gonna come back and eat, and then we're gonna toke, and then we're gonna play some video games, and then I'm gonna toke, and then we'll gym, and then we'll go to gym. Then we'll go gym.
And then work, and then it's like you guys don't want to see that. It's like that's why I like going live. So like I want to start really knocking into like the live streaming space. Start going on Twitch more and blowing up my TikTok, maybe in my Instagram lives and stuff. But I'm gonna start posting YouTube shorts.
Instagram, TikTok, what is it? All Cornelius Masterson?
Yeah, Instagram, Cornelius Masterson, TikTok, Cornelius Masterson, YouTube, Cornelius Masterson.
Twitch,
CMAC. CMACK. I don't know why. I honestly might switch that.
And your online coaching is still CMAC?
No, my online coaching is cmfitness98gmail.com. It's called Self Online.
Oh yeah, you still do. You still have that, don't you?
I still use Self as an LLC. So.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I made him a really dope logo that I think you should get some corn merch with. So
I think I might do like
potential merch coming out.
Yeah, potential merch.
Maybe if we get it done and we can get, I can get that new guy from the gym to make us some t-shirts, and we should put all different logos of people that we have.
I already have my alchemical stuff. I should show you. Alana made
we should get
dope. What?
Whoa. We should get one shirt, and then every person that we have on that has a business with their logo, we should get it printed.
That'd be dope.
So like we have a shirt that has like our BarTalk logo on it, and then we can have Aiden's, and we can have his, and we can have yours, and we can have your mom's. We have Drew's.
That's smart. Yeah, smart.
We can get everybody's logo printed on them, and then we can wear the shirts of the people that we have on as guests.
That's dope.
Yeah,
but wait, we're gonna have more guests, so do we just keep adding that shit? Or
yeah, you just keep adding.
Yeah, for real. It's like, you ever seen somebody go and who was the guy that got the person to write all of the they got all of the famous people to write with the Sharpie marker on their skin, and then they got the tattoo. Wasn't I just watching that video with you?
Yeah. I remember that shit. That's just kind of crazy.
That's a little weird.
It's like Logan Paul for Impulsive. They have all their guests' pictures.
Oh yeah, they have the pictures up, but they have them sign the wall or something like that. Dude, we should so do that. That's a great idea.
We're already an hour in.
Yeah. Well.
Oh my god.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, Corn.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about anything else?
I mean, we got fucking covered a lot, didn't we?
No, we did.
We covered a lot.
An hour flies by, dude.
Yeah, an hour does fly by. I like this shit.
When he first came on, he's like, how long is this gonna be?
Yeah, I didn't know how long.
And I said an hour, and he was like,
we got
fuck.
one over there. Everything, yeah.
See, this is so funny. Our guests, they always come on and they're like nervous and they're kind of reluctant, and then by the end of it, they're like, that shit's fun as hell. Man, let's keep going.
Yeah, that's good. Well, yeah.
Maybe we'll have you back on and we'll talk about the fucking Jersey life.
Yeah, we'll talk about Jersey.
Dude, we can do it when we come back from Atlantic City.
Yo,
this is more of a social media talk, and then we'll get more in our lives later. We explain like obviously sports and shit like that, but we didn't explain.
We can have a corn part too.
We can talk deep shit. We went through a lot.
Yeah,
we went through a lot. That's why people don't really understand when I'm saying like get thrown into life. It's just like we literally was like, I'm leaving my friends tomorrow.
Peace.
Like it was that like sitting in my friend's house, literally like, bro,
this is perfect.
Like I'm out. Like I'm not going to college. I'm out. What are you gonna do? Work, bills, pay, life. Like I'm out.
This is the foreshadowing to part 2.
Yeah.
We'll do corn part 2. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Absolutely.
You're
awesome.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Peace out. Cornelius Masterson.
Hello.